This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon, a federal grand jury has indicted the 4 former Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's arrest and death, accusing them of willfully violating Floyd's constitutional rights. An indictment unsealed today names Derek Chauvin, Thomas Lane, Toe Tao, and Jay King. Chauvin is charged with violating Floyd's right to be free from unreasonable seizure and unreasonable force by a police officer. Tao and King, they're charged for allegedly not intervening to stop Chauvin. All 4 officers are charged for their failure to provide Floyd with medical care. Chauvin was convicted last month on charges of murder and manslaughter. The other 3 men are free on bond and they're scheduled to go to trial in August. We have new information on an investigation into an incident in a 5th grade classroom in Wahpeton. A teacher is now on administrative leave during an investigation into what one Wahpeton woman says was a reenactment of George Floyd's arrest and death. The school superintendent released information to parents and staff saying the district does not tolerate any activity that makes students uncomfortable. Rick Jacobson, the superintendent, says an investigation suggests the activity was a breathing exercise for students to understand recent events. He says there was no physical contact between students and at no time was any student's breathing obstructed. Jacobson also said no student was signaled out due to race. He followed up with another message after some people complained about unclear information, saying that he wants people to understand what took place. Now our crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley is following this story, and we'll have more out of Wahpeton tonight on Valley News Live. The Bemidji Parks and Rec Department just released this surveillance video of people climbing on that Paul Bunyan statue, and it shows the moment that his arm starts to break. You'll see several people climbing on the statue, hanging from his arm, and then right there it happened. The concrete gives way. One of the suspects falls to the ground. The park department has secured that area for safety reasons. The city says repairs will start next week, and additional conservation work will be done on both Paul and Babe. If you have information about the people in this video, contact Crime Stoppers. You can get to their website on your screen right now, along with their phone number, 1-800-222-TIPS. If information leads to an arrest, you could qualify for a $1,000 reward. We take that live look outside right now. Look at that blue sky, sun, looking pretty nice out there. Wish it was a bit warmer though, but I suppose I won't complain about the sunshine. We get a check of your Friday forecast now with First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good afternoon, and May sunshine does feel a little bit warmer this time of year, even if the temperature is a little cool. And it's looking good throughout the valley. Jamestown along I-94, we've got some blue sky. Up along the Red River at East Grand Forks, some fair weather puffy cumulus clouds. We've got blue sky in Verona and southeastern North Dakota, and at the Tri-Level in Fargo also looking pretty good as well. Temperatures have been a little cool. We've been climbing since dropping below freezing this morning, and we're currently in the 40s to about 50 degrees. It's 50 in Fargo and in Grand Forks. And checking out your winds, still some wind today, not as intense as yesterday afternoon. We have some wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. That wind coming in out of the north or northeast for the most part here, and that northerly flow just keeps that cooler air in play. And taking a look at your radar and satellite map, no rain to show you, but there are some of those clouds that have been popping up here and there, some over Grand Forks, others to the east as well. Generally speaking though, a sunny day. Heading into the afternoon, expect temperatures to rise to around 60 in Fargo, mostly sunny skies, and conditions that are pretty pleasant. Even heading into the evening, the wind will start to ease up. We'll let you know what to expect for the weekend ahead, coming in just a couple of minutes.
All right, liking the sunshine today. Lisa, thank you. An 8-hour hostage situation at a St. Cloud, Minnesota bank ended with the FBI storming the building and then arresting the robber. The last hostage dove out of that bank entrance at 10:30 last night, all captured on camera. That's when the FBI rushed in to arrest the suspect. 5 employees had been held hostage at the bank on the city's south side since yesterday afternoon. There you see the agents move in. At one point during the evening, the suspect used one of the hostages' phones and their Facebook account to post a brief live stream video. Hundreds of people then gathered across the street from the bank for hours to watch those events unfold, cheering each time a hostage left the building. St. Cloud's police chief describes the suspect as someone who was disgruntled with the bank. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says charges are pending against a driver involved in a rollover near Hillsboro. Troopers say 22-year-old Tiana Votava was on Highway 18 yesterday when her car ran off the road, vaulted, and then rolled about 100 feet. They say she was able to crawl out of the vehicle and was later taken to the Mayville Hospital for treatment. Tax Day is usually on April 15th, but this year it's been extended to May 17th because of the pandemic. In our Consumer Alert this afternoon, Chris Martinez explains some changes that taxpayers need to watch out for.
Procrastinators who've waited to fill out those IRS forms should wait no longer.
My first tip would be if you've not filed your tax return, you probably need to do that as soon as possible.
Mark Stieber from Jackson Hewitt says that's because many people may be owed more stimulus money.
If you did not get all of your money for a dependent, or because the rules changed, or perhaps you share custody, or perhaps you had a new baby, those would not have already been paid to you. You will have to ask for that money on your 2020 tax return.
People who lost jobs last year should know unemployment benefits are taxable, but most Americans will get a break on some of that money.
The first $10,200 of unemployment benefits that you received in 2020 is not going to be taxable at the federal level. That's for folks who make up to $150,000.
Millions with jobs were forced to leave the office and work remotely. However, claiming home office expenses is mostly reserved for people who own their own business.
If you're working at home out of an abundance of caution or for the convenience of your employer, or just because your office is closed, you do not qualify for the home office deduction.
The pandemic has slowed the government's ability to process claims. The fastest way to get a refund is to file electronically. The IRS now offers free e-filing software to people making less than $72,000 a year. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
For those of you who have filed, you can check the status of your tax refund. Just go to irs.gov. You can expect some delays on I-94 in Fargo starting on Monday. North Dakota DOT contractors are doing bridge work at the I-94 and I-29 interchange. Ramp access will remain open, but lanes on the interstate may be closed as the project progresses. Speed will be reduced to 45 miles an hour. Now, once the work near the tri-level is done, the project will then move to I-94 at 45th Street and 9th Street East. Speeds will be reduced to 25 miles an hour during those two phases. All work should be wrapped up by mid-August. Just weeks before retirement, the Fargo North High School principal got a surprise recognition this morning. Andrew Dolan is the 2021 Administrator of the Year for the Fargo Public Schools. He has been with the district for nearly 3 decades, starting back in 1993. Before coming to Fargo, he was a teacher, athletic director, and associate principal in Grand Forks. Davies High School is breaking ground on new turf on Monday. It will provide expanded space for soccer, football, track, cross country, softball, even baseball. There's what it should look like. The $1.3 million field is being privately subsidized thanks to a group of parents who started fundraising in 2018. The committee is also gathering donations to renovate the concession stands. The project is expected to be completed by the end of July. Crashing back to Earth. Coming up, space watchers have their eye to the sky this weekend as debris from a Chinese rocket is expected to land back on Earth. Plus, look into the sky today. You're going to see some nice sunshine, blue skies, a few little clouds there on that sky cam. Lisa Green has a check of your Friday forecast and lets us know if this sunny weather continues into the weekend.